with Torah wisdom. He would make the announcements each Shabbos after davening with grace, style and humour. One Shabbos morning, one of the regulars turned to the president's mother and says, "You know, Mrs. Goldberg, your son, he's just fabulous. He could have been a rabbi." Mrs. Goldberg turned around and said, "A rabbi? The boy is a schmerel. He should have been a doctor." Lyndon Johnson was renowned for his storytelling, and he once related the following story. A preacher in the hill country of Texas, where Johnson resided, suffered the indignity that many Rabbonim face of having a local worshipper who would sit in the front row, centre seat of the congregation every Sunday, Shabbos, and conspicuously sleep through the sermon. Determined to right this wrong, the preacher mounted the pulpit one Sunday morning and began to speak. His congregant dutifully dozed off, sound familiar? And was soon sleeping soundly. The preacher then leaned over the pulpit and said in a very soft voice, "Brothers and sisters, all who want to go to heaven, please stand up." Everyone in the congregation arose, except for the sleeping beauty. Overjoyed at his revenge, the preacher now continued in a loud and booming voice, "Brothers and sisters, anyone who wants to go to hell, please stand up." And the sleeping man was roused by the loud voice of the preacher, and hearing the last few words, obediently stood up. Turning to the preacher, he said, "Preacher, I do not know what just cause you are presently advocating, but only you and I are standing in the entire shul." The role of any communal rab certainly has its challenges. The inability to satisfy everyone at all times. The consistent emotional demands of being privy to have to deal with other people's problems and difficulties. The inability to ever satisfy the super-liberals. The responsibility for having to make difficult, sometimes painful, halachic decisions regarding the community and individuals. The list goes on. Yet these are issues that anyone entering into the rabbinate must deal with in his mind and heart, and come to some inner clarity prior to embarking on such a career. Indeed, standing here today, I pledge to do my utmost for the spiritual and physical well-being of each and every member of this community. Will I always be successful? Probably not. But I can assure you one thing, it will not be for a lack of trying. Despite the many and complex challenges that every communal role faces, I want to share with you some of the things that we have found out about the Loughton community in the short space of time that we have been here. All good. From the moment Orly and I arrived in Loughton, the warmth and support of this community has truly been amazing. And this is not something that is reserved for us alone. Anyone who comes to this shul on Shabbos will be welcomed by a warm, friendly and accepting community. And today, we thank the entire community for their warmth and embrace. In a similar vein, anyone who has davened in this shul on Shabbos will know that there is a real sense of ruach and achdos in the davening. People like to get involved in the tefillah. People join in with the nusach and the tunes in a way which makes the tefillah beautiful and uplifting. People may not follow the tefillah from the beginning to the end, and there may be a little talking at various times. But the parts that they daven, they do with a bren, they do with excitement, they do with enthusiasm. We've recently started a minyan on Sundays, which is something I hope will grow into a daily minyan. Perhaps not immediately, but certainly in the not too distant future. So what is my vision for this shul? Where are we heading as a kahila, as a community? What initiatives do we both as individuals and as a community need to take if we are to grow, to flourish, and become a community that can be truly proud of its achievements? I believe there are three fundamental elements which, if we undertake to begin working on from today going forward, will enable us to achieve all the necessary other aspects of being a great Jewish community. The first item that we need to work towards is investing in our future. This shul has traditionally been admirably run and managed by its founding members and their contemporaries. And once again today, we pay gratitude to them for all their tremendous hard work and input in both creating this shul and for ensuring that it is here today. But I believe we are at a crossroad in time. We cannot rely on those who have done so much for this community until today to continue doing so forever. We need to start investing in the future of this community. To their enormous credit, a new group of young families in this shul have recently formed with a view to starting this process. We need to realise that from within the younger elements of this community has to come a real and significant contribution to the lay leadership of the shul. We need to start investing in our children's programmes. We need to start investing in our cheder. We may not get to the point of having 180 children, as there were some years ago, but it's certainly the direction in which we need to be aiming for. We need to start investing in our youth programmes. We need to start investing in our young families. And they, in turn, need to invest in us as a community. The second key element necessary for growth and continuity of any Jewish community, but particularly this community, is a sense of pride in who we are. Not on a microcosmic level as the Loughton community, but rather to us as Jews. The number of times when I've been escorted home by members of our community, when suddenly walking along Borders Lane, couples mysteriously disappear as though no one will realise they are Jewish, walking next to me in a black hat. The world respects Jews who respect and are proud of who they are, and the world cannot bear Jews who despise themselves. On his way to work one morning, Nathan arrived at the subway station a bit early. Whilst he's waiting for his train, he notices a new machine on the platform. The sign says it's a state-of-the-art talking weighing machine. So Nathan stands on the machine, puts in a £1 coin, and the machine tells him, "You are Jewish, you weigh 300 pounds, you love bagels, pasta and cheesecake, and you have issues with your mother." Nathan cannot believe what he's just heard. So he gets on again and puts in another £1 coin. The machine tells him, "You weigh 300 pounds, you are Jewish, you love food and hate exercise, you're waiting for the 7:35 a.m. train to take you to your job at the delicatessen." He is in total shock, but as a good and upright Jew, he is determined to beat the machine. He goes into the men's room, ruffles up his hair, puts on some dark sunglasses, a first aid plaster on his chin, does 70 push-ups, feels like a healthy muscular marine in the army, and comes back outside to step on the machine and puts in another £1 coin. And the machine tells him, "You're still Jewish. You weigh 299 pounds. You're also a total schmazzle, you just missed your train." We, the Loughton Kahina, the Loughton community, need to fill our own hearts and indeed instill within our children a bit more Jewish pride. It's one of the keys to the future of any success that we will have as a Kahina. And yet pride does not and cannot exist in a vacuum. One cannot be proud if they know not what they are to be proud of. Pride can only come from a deep-seated and thorough knowledge of who we are, both as individuals and as part of B'nai Yisrael, the Jewish people. There is one source which has the answers to both of these, and it's called the Torah. In making the Mishkan, all the items that Klal Yisrael, the B'nai Yisrael, were instructed to make are described in the second person singular. V'tzipisa, v'asisa, v'yamtzakta. You shall cover, you shall make, you shall pour, and so on. There's one exception, the Aron, the Holy Ark. Here the Torah describes it, V'asu Aron atzei shittim. They shall make an Aron of acacia wood. Why they and not you? Why the shift from the singular to the plural? The answer is profound. The Aron contained the luchos, the stone tablets which Moshe was given at Har Sinai. The reason that the construction of the Aron was commanded in the plural is that everyone has a share in it. Unlike other aspects of the Mishkan, the Torah was and is the heritage of each and every Jew. The whole of Bnei Yisrael, the Jewish people, were parties to the covenant. All were expected to know and study its terms. In Yiddishkeit, there may be other hierarchies, but when it comes to study of Torah, to knowledge, to the dignity conferred by studying the Holy Torah, everyone stands on an equal footing. We just need to take the first step. Some of you have been attending the shiurim that we have been given, and that's fantastic. Some of you have begun learning one-to-one, and that's truly fantastic. Some have intimated that they would like to start learning if given enough gentle persuasion, and that is also fantastic. But it is not enough. It's not enough because looking at the overall communal commitment in this area, it's a small minority. It's not enough because in today's decadent society in which we live, we'll do its absolute best to provide every single possible temptation, forcing us to make difficult choices on a daily basis. And if we are somehow able to rise above these challenges, to name just one, intermarriage, one thing is certain: it will certainly affect the choices that our children will make. Both we and they need to be armoured with the knowledge of Torah and an insight of our rich and beautiful heritage, that they can face up to these challenges head on and come out victorious. Both we and our children need a firm foundation in the fundamentals of Yiddishkeit, of our faith, that can only be through the study of Torah, about relationships between man and man, about our relationship with Hashem, and about the infinite potential of our neshama, our Jewish soul. Let us today decide and commit that we will ensure our children are so richly inspired, so passionate about the Yiddishkeit, that the wrong choices will never even occur to them as something that they may possibly entertain. In conclusion, Mishanichnas Adar Marbin Simcha. There's no better time than Adar to start educating ourselves to be forces for good. Adar is a month of happiness. The Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Jewish Law, in Orachaim quotes a pasuk which sums it all up beautifully. The Toiv Leiv Nishket Omid. One who possesses a good heart feasts perpetually. In other words, one who has a Leiv Toiv, a good heart, he or she will always be happy. Who is considered someone who has a Leiv Toiv? Someone who delights in his fellow Jews, a Nadiv Leiv. In Adar, the weather starts turning warmer, the snow and the rain begin to cease, trees and flowers begin to blossom again. Let us store out our souls and hearts and seek good causes. And to the Lauter community at the top of that list, the growth, continuity, and heightened spirituality of our community. May we all merit healthy and pure hearts, bursting with Simchas HaChaim, a joy for the beauty of life itself, not only in Adar, but the whole year round. The V'yaskar Tzedek, B'mheira B'yameinu.